What's up, guys? I'm Nell.
And I'm KJ, and we're the hosts of Millennial Talk.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Millennial Talk. We are here today with Courtney.
And today's topic is continuing a friendship with your best friend's ex-significant other.
That's steaming hot tea.
That's complicated.
Yes, it is.
There's a lot of layers to that.
It is, and I kind of got to the place to where I just stopped caring.
I'm at that point too, honestly.
Because I will give a further explanation in a minute, but basically that I will give you guys like a preface of what this topic really entails. It's basically when, let's just say, me and Courtney are dating, right? And I've met Nell through Courtney, and then because they're best friends or they're friends, and then me and Courtney break up, and I'm still friends with Nell. Courtney will probably look at Nell like, why are you still friends with him? And it's kind of just like, well, we actually had a great friendship that came from this, and just because you guys broke up, does that mean we should stop being friends, or should we continue our friendship?
Me
so that's
and
basically
her.
what it is.
Oh, we kind of had this
Conversation all the night.
Yeah.
Like, we literally had this exact conversation, and I was on your side.
We kind of had this
because we had difference of opinions.
Okay, so we can actually talk about these people because they're YouTubers. Like, their stuff is in the public anyway.
Yeah.
But we were talking about, so Shane Dawson and Gabby Hanna are friends. Gabby Hanna used to date Shane Dawson's videographer, Andrew. Don't know his last name is, don't care. They used to date. They broke up. And now Shane and Gabby don't really see each other that often. But one of the reasons why they don't see each other that much is because Shane is busy. Another reason why they don't see it is because Gabby's busy. They travel a lot.
But the main reason Gabby said
is because Shane is always with Andrew because that's his videographer, that's also his editor, and videoing and editing stuff is how Shane makes his money to pay for the nice house he lives in and take care of his boyfriend and his dogs and his family. So he's always with Andrew, and Gabby doesn't really want to be around Andrew. So by default, like if there is a time where both Gabby and Shane are free at the same time, if Shane is with Andrew, Gabby probably won't hang out with them because Andrew's there.
And my argument was, I never want another person to ruin another friendship I had with somebody. That was my point.
And I don't disagree with that statement, but I think that it's easy for someone who has not been in a relationship or not been in that situation to make claims like that.
The only
versus
thing,
when you're in it, it's a little bit, your feelings get involved and it's not so logical. You're thinking with your heart and not your head.
No, 100% agree with that, but it almost it kind of slightly irritates me that always gets brought up because, I mean, I would hope that whoever I am as a person stays consistent. I know it may change. I'm not knocking it. But say that whenever I get in a relationship, say this scenario happens, if it doesn't change, my thing is it didn't matter because I stayed the same. I feel like as a person I am, I'm going to stay the same. I feel like my viewpoints rarely change with certain situations. So I'm like, I really feel like I don't want another person to affect my relationship because literally I've had friends who have not liked each other. And I'm like, I'm still saying her friend. I was friends with her at the same time I was friends with you. Just because y'all not cool, why I can't be cool with the same person? Y'all not going to affect me. So that's how I feel. You're not going to affect my friendship. If I rock with dude, I rock with dude. If I rock with chick, I rock with chick. You're not about to affect me.
That's a good mentality to have. I just think that when you're in that, so like I said, it's just like any situation. Like it's easy to talk about it when it's somebody else in that situation versus when you're in that situation and your feelings are affected and your heart is hurting. It's not so cut and dry to be able to be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna do this and do that. Like it's a little bit different when it's you. But you can say that about any situation. Like you could be talking about something completely different. I'm like, oh, well, this is what I would do. But like when you're in that situation and you're the one that's being affected, it's harder to stand that strong on the platform that you're standing on right now.
I kind of have like 3 different scenarios about this whole situation. So the first scenario I'll give you is what the topic is, which is I can be best friends with someone and they are dating a guy and me and him become friends and then you guys break up and you expect our friendship to break up as well. So that's actually happened to me, and it was very awkward because I didn't really know how to go about it because it kind of got to the place where we were planning a fishing trip together, me and the guy. We were getting a bunch of the guys together that were in our group to go on a camping trip, all these different things with just the guys, not even like my friend who I met the guy through. And then it kind of got to a point where they did break up. And it's kind of just like, okay, do I keep these fishing plans or do I call them off because they broke up? And then I kind of just like tested the waters to where like I hung out with my friend and I was able to hear them talking about him. They were like trash talking him. And then I'm just like, okay, so they definitely don't like him, and like our friend group doesn't really like him. What do I do? Because like whenever my friends date someone new, I try not to become friends with them because I never know because of this situation right here.
I feel it.
But in this situation, my friend, like my best friend, was like, "I want you guys to be friends because you're not going to really see us being together." And then they broke up, and then they wanted us to break up as well. And I'm like, "Well, I actually became friends with them, and like we're actually like really good friends together." So I continued to be friends with them, and one of my friends doesn't really know that I'm still friends with their ex right now.
So they don't know.
No,
Shook.
and I'm just like,
Deceased.
oh well, find out, you get mad at me, you do. But it's kind of like,
All right.
like they dated each other for like an entire year, and an entire year I was like making a friendship. Imagine like us two being friends for an entire year, and then just because Morgan, Jesus, just because Courtney broke up with me,
my name.
just because Courtney broke up with me, that means our whole year of friendship is down the drain. I don't think that's fair to me, and I think a lot of people have to understand like it's not just about you anymore. It's everybody in your circle at that point. My next scenario is when you are dating. Say we're all friends already, and me and Nell start
You
dating.
start dating within the friend group.
Yeah, you start dating within the friend group.
I hate that.
And then, because once again,
That's always messy.
it is because once again, it's just like they want you to pick sides to
And
a
I got a
certain
scenario
point,
for that one.
and it's just like.
That's
it's
like 13 Reasons Why.
Yeah, it's like they want you to pick a side, but then you have
And that's
friends
why I
who
have a
like
scenario for that one.
who don't really want you to pick a side, and it sucks for me because like for instance, this past week was my birthday. Past weekend was my birthday, and I was able to have a bunch of people come out, very happy. But I had a couple of friends who didn't come, and their reasoning for coming was because their ex was going to be there, who I was also friends with. But my thing is, I was friends with both of you before you started dating. So for you not to come just because they were going to be there, it's kind of like, I'm okay with you guys not being friends and not talking to each other, but don't let it affect me because I didn't do anything wrong. And it's kind of like I'm being punished because you guys decided to start dating, and you guys have started to break up, and now you guys don't want to come to my birthday because of something that is within you guys. So
Before you get to your third topic, I have a scenario for that one. I had a friend who did not listen to what her other friend was saying. Her friend did not want her to date her friend because it was her friend's friend. She did not want them dating because she knew that those two were not going to last. She knew their personalities. She knew they were not going to last. My friend did not understand why she felt that way. She called her friend selfish. I was like, it's not selfish. You don't see the bigger picture. She has to deal with the aftermath for something she knows is not going to work. And what happened? It did not work. So now where is she? A rock in a hard place because you did not want to listen, but you called her selfish because she saw the bigger point, but you didn't see the bigger point.
It's just like why they say that you shouldn't date your coworkers, is if you break up, now there's like this awkward tension in the office or wherever, whether you work in the kitchen or office, whether you're a construction worker, whatever. There's tension in the workplace. And also now your coworkers are like kind of picking sides. Like it just gets complicated.
and then from then on, it kind of everything feels personal at that point. Because if I go and hang out with my one friend, they'll be like, "Oh, how come you didn't want to hang out with me at that place?" If I start hanging out with my other friend, it's just like, "Oh, you must like them better than you like me because you keep hanging out with them." And it's like it's not like that. So it's just everything becomes personal. It gets really hard, and I think I don't know like.
It's almost like you have to pick which friendship you'd rather. Like if you have to pick one or the other.
Which one you'd rather be with?
Because it might come to that point.
Yeah, at a point in like, my friend, he had like an additional reason like for why they didn't want to come, but like it still hurt me to a point because like I really wanted you there. I wouldn't have invited you if I didn't want you there, and. Because they were going to be there, you decided not to come. And that, in any situation, whether it was someone else, not just me. And it's like, I would have been hurt if you didn't come. And even though someone was there that you may not have liked, you still came anyway. Because it's not about them. It was about me that day.
Right.
And it was vice versa. If I would come into your birthday or any type of event, your wedding, anything like that, and I knew there's somebody there that I'm not going to like, I'm still going to come to support you. I don't have to be in that place to, entertain foolishness, to argue with them. And I think that's what everyone else needs to understand. It's about the bigger picture. It's not about them. And a lot of people are so selfish in that aspect. And for the first scenario, what do you guys really think about like people should do with like, not really knowing that person, but you guys like grow for a year and then you're friends with them? What would you do?
I mean, I've been in that situation. Well, this was back when I was in high school, and it's funny because this whole thing kind of spiraled out of control and like actually kind of ruined my entire high school experience.
Oh.
But that's a story time for my personal channel.
Yes.
But basically, my best friend. So okay, I may have been in the wrong, but at the time, what I did was not done like maliciously. Like it was just like So basically, what happened was my best friend was dating this guy that we went to school with. And I became friends with this guy through her. Like, I'd never talked to him before, never knew he was upper class or whatever. Became friends with him because of her. And then me and him got really, really close because we found out that we actually had a lot of other mutual friends and we just didn't know it because we never talked to each other before. So then we got really, really close, whatever. They dated. I don't know how long they dated, but it was a while. So we got really close. We became like, I'm not going to say like best friend. You know how like when you're in high school, everybody's your best friend? It was like that. So it's like, you're not really my best friend, but like I call you my best friend because like I see you every day. We probably talk on the phone, whatever. So we became really good friends and then they ended up breaking up. And I didn't like stop my friendship with him because we had gotten so close at this point. I'm like, I'm not gonna not be friends with you just because they're broken up.
Yeah.
So I stayed friends with him, and then she ended up not dating, but like talking to the guy that I was dating at the time, his best friend. So like they were kind of like talking, and her ex knew my current boyfriend at the time and the best friend. So I was like, oh yeah, she's talking to him now, whatever. Like I didn't think anything of it, but I didn't say it like, oh, like guess what? Guess who she's talking to? Like,
Messy.
But I didn't. It wasn't on purpose.
I know.
And I also didn't know it was a secret.
A whole mess.
I didn't know it was a secret.
Spill the tea.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
Johnson
it would have
Peach.
been different if I was like Wendy Williams, like, oh, guess what she's talking to now? Like
Hot topics.
But it was just like we were just on the phone. I was just like, yeah, like me, her, and my boyfriend, and so and so went out. Like they, we all went to the movies, or whatever. Like they talk now. Like it was just kind of casual, like in passing conversation. Like didn't think anything of it.
I feel like it was a three-way conversation and somebody was on the other phone line.
Did not think
Oh my God.
anything of it. And then the next day, she like came up to me and was like furious. It was like, did you tell him that I'm talking to so and so? And I was like, yeah, I didn't know it was a secret. Oh my gosh, how could you tell him that? And I don't know what happened after that, but literally, when I say everyone,
In that friend group?
yes,
Cut you off.
yes.
You ain't
Even your boyfriend?
No, he didn't go to our school.
Oh. I would say yo.
No, he didn't go to our school, and neither did the guy, the one that she was like talking
But
to.
he stopped talking to you too?
No, they didn't go to our school. They weren't involved in it. But like the ex, the one that was my best friend, he didn't cut me off. But like our friendship wasn't really the same after that because I kind of like distanced myself from him because of what happened. Because I felt like they blew it out. Like he didn't cut me off, but like she did, and like our whole friend group. Like it was like a group of like I'm gonna say maybe 15 of us. Nobody like shunned, like literally shunned.
But see, since you got shunned, I would have hung out with him more. Is what I'm saying. Like I would have been like, nah, I bet you shunned me.
I was
I
just
got
like,
other friends.
I'm done with all of y'all. Like I don't care. And this went on for like a year, like a whole year of like
So what
having
did
no
you
friends.
do? You just didn't have friends.
Yeah, for a whole year I had no
Friends.
friends.
You went to a small school too, didn't you?
Yeah, pretty small. So it wasn't like I had a whole lot of options. Like if
Yeah.
these people weren't gonna talk to me, I literally have
Yeah.
no friends. So like I became friends with like some other people, and like they were cool, whatever. But like we weren't as close as like my main friend group, or whatever.
Yeah.
So like that was really hard, dealing with all that. And there was also like other things going on with like my family. Like it just was not a good time for me. Like it was like probably like one of like the worst times of my
Jeez.
entire life. But it all stemmed from that moment of me like not even thinking like, oh yeah, we went to the movies, whatever. Like they talk now, like it's whatever. And then like, all right, so what kind of homework do you have tonight? Like it was just like a mindless thing. Like it didn't mean anything.
I
when
wish I
said
had
it.
been your friend at the time. I would be like, shh.
But she was like furious, and like nobody would talk to me after that. It was crazy.
I would have just
Oh
been
my
mad at you,
God.
but I want to tell everybody to cut you off.
No,
should've
I don't
been
know.
mad.
I don't even know what she told them because none of them would talk to me. So I don't even know what they thought was going on or like what she was telling them, what they were hearing, what rumors were going. I have no idea. I still to this day have no idea why everybody cut me off for a whole year.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I'm
wait.
not bitter or anything.
Wait,
Just a little bit.
what you saying here? So what happened? Were you friends again?
So this happened sometime, I'm gonna say roughly maybe October. So this is like close to the beginning of the school year when this
Yeah.
happened. And I'm gonna say maybe in like somewhere between like June and August, one of my old friends kind of like came. Well, actually, no. What happened was I was talking to one of my friends, and he was like, he finally heard my side of the story. Finally, like 9 months later, he was like, "Oh, like that's not the story that I was told." I'm just like, "Well, I don't know what you were told. Like, nobody will talk to me."
Probably made it seem like you were being malicious.
I have no idea, but he was like, so once I talked to him, maybe he had something to do with why everybody started talking to me. Because after he said something to me and I talked to him about it, there was another girl in that same class. That was like, yeah, like I think somebody was having like a birthday or something, and she was like, well, I want both of you there, and I know that if
like, you want me there, you ain't talked to me in a year. That's news to me.
Like she was like trying to like slowly reach out, and maybe it was awkward for her because maybe she felt like if she became friends with me again, then she would be a traitor. Like I don't know, maybe it was complicated on her end too. But she like slowly like tried to like sort of become friends with me, and she kind of like brought me back into the group. And like I guess like once the people saw that me and her were cool, people got over it. And then I'm gonna say maybe like when the next school year starts. So this all happened in like 10th grade, I think. So when 11th grade started up, the girl that was my best friend that this whole thing started from, basically came up to me and was like, this was like first period, like one of the first weeks of school. She said something like, yeah, I just want to, basically like I want to bury the hatchet, like let's just put this all behind us. Like I don't even remember what I was mad about, which made me so angry. Like I don't know if she watches these videos, but this is all new information to her because we've never talked about it. Because when she said that she doesn't even remember what she was mad about, that made me so furious because I'm like, literally, you don't know the hell that I went through these last like 11 months or whatever, and for you to just have no idea why this happened,
I feel like she just said that.
So infuriating.
She knew, but she just
like still to this day when I think about it, makes my blood boil that you put me through the ringer over basically nothing, because if you don't remember, it clearly wasn't that important.
No, she remembered. She's just trying to make it downplay. She was just trying to downplay, but I would have like, I'm good, love, and joy. I don't need you.
But that was my first experience with being friends with someone, with a friend's ex.
Yeah.
And it did not end well. And it's not to say that I never did that again. Like I've been friends with other people's exes, whatever, but like not super close friends. So it didn't really matter.
Jeez, that's difficult. that reminds me of like a story when I was in the 8th grade, but it's kind of not like super similar. I had like a group of drama club friends. We were all in drama club, and one of my best friends, Cody, he was in there with me. So in 8th grade, I spent the night at his house, and he was texting 2 girls from drama club. I'll call them MK and Tip.
Okay.
MK and Tiff, they both like Cody, and Cody, when I spent the night at his house, he was texting both of them, and he was flirting with both of them, and during the same night, he asked both of them out. Oh, goodness. And I'm playing the game while all this is happening. So then he asked both of them out, not knowing they were both, one of them slept at the other person's house. They were together. So they were together just like me and him were together. So because they were connected. An idiot. Right. Because we were 8th grade. We were like, what, 14, 13? But anyway, like they were like connecting, like showing each other text messages, and I guess they assumed that me and Cody were doing the same thing. And it was funny because I just saw this whole friend group when I went down to Georgia for like winter break, and we all talked about it and laughed about it. But like they just found out that I never knew about it. Like I didn't know what they were mad at me for. Well, I knew, but like I never saw the text messages. So she called me. One of them called me that night and was like, "Did you know Cody just asked both of us out?" And I was like, "What?" And then he goes, "You knew," and da da da. And then I'm just on the phone I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong.
That's so
I'm like looking at Cody. He goes, "I asked them both out." I'm like, "Why would you do that?" And then they both got mad at me. And then we got back to school.
Why are you mad at me?
And it was like really awkward because like in drama club, it's like we're doing like plays together. So it's like we all like the friend group. Drama club is only so big anyway. And everybody in that group kind of like looked at me like I was like some type of traitorous person. But you know what the crazy thing is? After a few months, they forgave Cody and were still mad at me.
That's what, oh my gosh. Okay, so going back to the story I was telling you about, she was mad. They were mad at me or whatever. Like the best friend and her ex, whatever. Like they were mad or what? Like he was mad at her. She was mad at me. But she also was like talking crap about him. Like they weren't like in a good place, which is why she was talking to the other guy or whatever. So it just was crazy to me, kind of going back to our last video, how she was talking all this crap about this man. I do one simple thing by accident, get shunned for a whole year. Her and him were like tight after that whole thing happened. Like that whole situation brought them closer together.
I just don't understand. But
People blow me.
it's wild. Yeah, people are just like so like I don't know what goes through our minds like when we do things, especially at such a young age. Everything is drama when we're young.
Childish.
Everything.
Very childish.
But I just still couldn't believe that they were so mad at me after I didn't do anything. Like the entire time I didn't do anything, and they became friends with him. And like even all throughout high school, like we didn't talk. We didn't talk until after high school. I think it was is Labor Day in September? Labor Day was the first time I talked to one of the girls since that happened in the 8th grade. And then I went down and like now like she Snapchats me, we text each other, we talk all the time. But I just remember like we stopped being friends because of that, and I didn't have anything to do with it. So
That literally your situation makes me more mad than your situation because they were mad at you for some like
because I was there.
Because you were there. Because
I could have stopped.
Because you were a
him.
innocent
I
bystander.
But yeah, so relationships are very, very difficult, and having friends within relationships can be difficult as well. I think it's very important for people to realize that there's so many other people that you have to realize that are affected by your relationship, and not just the two people in there.
I think that's something that people need to realize, not even just with relationships, because what you just said, just with like almost anything that you do, unless you are like single, living by yourself, no kids, no family, like no friends, no nothing. Almost anything you do or everything you do is gonna have an effect on other people. Like what made me think about this was that I've been binge watching Zach and Mia and like bawling my eyes out all day, which is why I don't really have on any makeup because I was like can't cover up all the tear stains. But yeah, so it's basically like The Fault in Our Stars, which I've never seen before, but I assume that it's like that because it's about kids, not kids, but like teenagers with cancer that are in the hospital and dealing with cancer and remission, all that kind of stuff. So it's really sad, but it's really good. Like go watch this on Hulu.
I mean,
anyway,
it won an award. It won an award.
Did it?
It won a
good. Like an Emmy or something?
It won an Emmy.
Good job.
Yes.
But one of the things that they talked about was the boy has cancer. His sister was going to like a cancer like support group or something, and then he decided to go like out of random whatever. And when he got there, like he didn't know she was going. And when he got there, he was like, why are you here? Like why are you coming to this? And she was just like, your cancer affected me. Like, I went through stuff too. Like, it's like I understand that you were the one that had the cancer, but like the stuff that you went through, like having to be in the hospital with you all the time, having to watch the people that we met in the hospital like die and stuff like that was really hard on me. So like I need support just like you do, whatever. So it just made me think like what you were saying about how relationships affect other people.
You do?
Like your decisions, like where you decide to live, like if you're gonna move or if you're gonna marry someone, like if you're gonna bring somebody into the family, like if you're gonna get divorced, like all these kinds of things. I don't think people realize how just normal decisions that feel like they only affect you actually affect so many other people around you.
So remember I had a third scenario? It kind of like really goes with that, and this one is not really, it's with friendships, because you guys know like my emphasis, my Jesus, the word is just not coming out. I'm not going to say it because my tongue is not working today.
Okay.
But I'm going to try it. My infamous, there we go, friendship that fell out with this certain girl. You'll remember as I tell the story. But when me and this girl first fell out, I wasn't going to tell anyone. Why? Because literally our entire friend group was the same. Everybody that we knew, everybody that we were friends with were the same. Despite like maybe a handful of people. So it's like, I didn't want us falling out to affect how everyone else, viewed us. And when I say viewed us, I don't mean like judging us, but I mean like, oh, I have to pick a side. I have to, I don't want my friends to feel that way. So I didn't tell anyone. But next thing you know, I have people texting me left and right. How come you and so-and-so stop being friends? How come you and so stop being friends? And I'm like, how do they even know about it? Well, come to find out, they started like telling people that we aren't friends anymore so they could get people on their side. And that was really messy of them.
That sounds like somebody I know.
Because it, it was hurting me in the long run because they were telling them bad things even though I'm the one who ended the friendship. And I thought it was really weird because this is kind of like a little sidebar, but it's like when we were friends you had no issues with me. But when this situation came up and I was like, I cannot be friends with you anymore because I see what type of person you are and I can't do it anymore. Now you have all the issues in the world with me and everybody you're telling everybody like why you don't like me, and they start turning people against me. And like during the second half of my junior year, going up into my senior year, so many people were like, they stopped being friends with me, or they're distant towards me because of the things that she was saying. And now like they realize that a lot of the stuff that she was saying was BS. And they're like friends with me again, but I'm still kind of distant towards them, because if we were such good friends, even you met this person through me, and you believed every word they're saying without coming to me and talking to me about it, I don't really want to be friends with you, because that means you're gullible, and you hear the first thing that you say, that anyone says. And with that type of friendship, it's like you have to realize that there's so many other people involved in it that feel like they need to make a decision. And when I found out that she started telling everyone, I went ahead and texted all my friends. I'm like, I don't expect you to choose between both of us. I'm still gonna come to like all of like these different places and stuff. And it kind of led to the point where one of my friends, he was having a birthday party, and he didn't invite me because she said the only way she'll come is if I don't come. So he didn't invite me. Time his birthday came, and nobody showed up, because she decided to do her own plans with someone else, and take the people that he invited as well. So he was sitting at his house with his girlfriend, and I think maybe a couple of people, but none of all the people that he really wanted to be there, they didn't come.
That's wild.
And this time around for his birthday, he invited me, but it's like I still kind of feel hurt from that, because just because we're not friends anymore, it shouldn't affect our friendship, and it did, just because she didn't want me there. And those types of things, it's just like when you go through those different friendships, you really have to think about it, like as a friend and as a person who's going through an issue.
Once you introduce your relationship to other people, whoever you introduce your relationship to, whoever you introduce your significant other to, they are now a part of this relationship, whether you like it or not.
Exactly.
Once you've introduced them and they've become friends, or they exchange contacts, or they follow each other on Instagram, Twitter, they're in your
What you
relationship.
just said?
Friends.
You know what a perfect example is? I watched Married at First Sight. Everybody know this. So
You watch what?
Married at First Sight.
Oh, okay.
So the girl, literally, it was the topic on this. It's like the topics be matching. They be matching. So the topic was meeting the friends. And the girl told the friend that, and I think I talked about this previously in another podcast, the guy had said whatever, that he was disgusted by her or whatever. So she told her friends that. And, I think she has a nervous laugh thing that she does. And she was like, they were like, so he said he was disgusted by you. She's like, yeah, he says that all the time, huh? And her friends were like, they look like they was ready to go to war. They was like, and it's not, now it's like awkward, because now her friends are looking at him like, on site.
And I've said this in another video too. If you're gonna tell your friends or your family or whoever negative things or bad things about your significant other, that's fine. But if you're gonna tell the bad, you also have to equally tell the good, so that they can get a balanced picture of your relationship. Otherwise, you're gonna paint this picture like they're this
Of a
monster.
villain.
Yeah, and that's not the case.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, she was trying to make it sound good, but like honestly, watching
She
the
already
show,
messed up.
No, but not even that. Honestly, the whole show ain't really been good. So like, her friends is right.
That's definitely happened with me. Like even with just friends, when like some of my friends fell out, I hear the stuff they say to me, like about how they were such a bad person to this one, and I'm just like, okay, I take all the information in, but it's like I'm also not going to discredit all the number of years that I've known them and the great things they've done to me. It was like, wow, they did you wrong. I'm sorry to hear that. They also told me that you did them wrong, so I'm just going to take it that you guys did each other wrong because you guys have issues.
It balances out.
But nothing has ever happened to me, so I am not going to stop being friends with you or stop being friends with you because of what you tell me.
Right.
And I think that's what a lot of people need to take note of. Like, just because someone tells you something does not mean it's true.
I think you should take it in and like be aware of it and like be on the lookout for it.
Yes.
But if nothing, like, don't be stupid. Obviously, like, don't ignore signs, but don't like make snap decisions or snap judgment based on what you've heard other people say, because you don't know what happened for that situation to have taken place in the first place.
Exactly. Like, I have friends when the story I was telling earlier about the girl who like basically tried to get everyone to stop talking to me. One of my friends, she was going to be working with her that summer, and I just told her my story. I didn't tell her not to be friends with her. I specifically told her to be friends with her, and I said, but just keep your eye out and protect yourself, because you never know what's going to happen. Beginning of the summer, they were friends. Middle of the summer, things snapped off. She was ready to fight the girl. So and then she texted me and was like, "You was right. You was right." And I was just like,
yeah, so I was gonna say, like, I know that there's one person in particular that I know we have all had a run-in with the same person, and I think I had my issue with this person first, and then you had your issue, and then I hadn't even met you, and then I remember meeting you and you telling me that you were friends. And I was like, okay, be careful.
it was that summer.
It was the summer. I don't know when it was. No, what you mean? When did I have my issue with her?
I'm talking about. Oh, okay.
Oh no, you.
It's the person that we.
I was trying to figure out who it was.
It's that girl.
Yeah, it's the girl.
The girl that everybody has an issue with.
Yeah,
but it's like everybody that I've talked to, like after I had my incident with her, everybody that I talked to that I knew was friends with her, they'd be like, oh yeah, like I never had an issue with her, like she's fine. Just like, okay.
And you'd be waiting over here in the corner
like okay, like I'm not gonna tell you not to be friends with her. Like you have to learn for yourself and see for yourself. But I think too, you kind of have to, as an individual, you have to know what kind of things you are or are not okay with, and what kind of things are deal breakers for you, or things like that. Because like, for example, what I was gonna say was like, when it comes to relationships and like being friends with your friend's ex, if your friends, if they broke up because he was like beating her, then yeah, you probably shouldn't be friends with him. He's probably not a good guy.
Probably.
But if they broke up because like he cheated on her, it may not mean he's a horrible person. He's a horrible boyfriend. Yeah. But he might not be a horrible person.
Exactly.
And if you're not dating him, then him being a cheater doesn't affect you at, your friendship. So it's like you kind of have to weigh what's important to you and what kind of characteristics you're looking for in a friend or in a friendship or whatever, to be able to decide if you even need to take sides. I think people feel like they have to take sides and you don't.
Yeah.
Like you can be friends with both people.
And it's like, I think we also need to, like, as friends, we need to relay the message that it's okay if you're still friends with them. Because, like, there's some of my friends who are still friends with that person. And it doesn't hurt me at all. But, like, I think they just need to know that it's okay with them. And, like, now that they know it's okay, they'll tell me, oh, yeah, I'm about to go hang out with this person. I'm like, all right, have fun. And that's the end of the story. And, that's sad because, like, what they did to me, they may not do to them.
Right, exactly.
And I can't expect you not to like them for what they did to me.
Exactly. And that's why, like, with your scenario, how we all waited patiently. With me and one of our friend scenarios, we were best friends, all best friends. Because we all lived on, I think, y'all lived, whenever we all lived in Green Spring. I was best friend, not Green Spring. What's the?
It was Green
Spring, but
no, it was not Green Spring. It was
in the apartments. It doesn't matter.
Whatever. It was when we all lived in the freshman dorms. It wasn't.
That's far-fetched.
That's why I'm like, not you.
We never lived in the same building, but okay, just continue with the story.
Okay, so we all lived. You know the girl. Anyway, so we all lived close to each other, whatever. And then the one girl we were always friends with, and me and my other friend, and we were all friends with her. And then one year she just cut us off. But she completely, it was no warning signs, it was nothing. Our one friend was like, oh, she's great, I want to be friends with her. And me and my friend were over here like, all right, okay, we gonna let you, but you gonna find out. And not even like a year later, she was like, y'all tried to tell me. And I was like, well, you gotta learn. Like, I can't stop you. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think that you should not be friends with someone because they did something wrong to someone that you care about. I think it depends on what they did wrong, and also what your friend, what they may have done to have contributed to that. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, if your friend was being annoying and he smacked her, that he's in the right for smacking her. Like, no. Just because she's annoying don't mean you put your hands on somebody. But if it's a situation where like, oh yeah, he cheated, but like, oh, but she didn't tell you that she cheated on him first. You know what I mean? Like those kind of things. Like, you gotta weigh the scales and determine like who's really at fault. Because if they're both wrong, then why do you have to pick a side?
Exactly.
And like I said, even if one is wrong and the other one isn't wrong, what was it that they did? If it wasn't something that's like makes them an evil person, then okay.
One more thing that I want to say is that do not use the amount of time you've known someone as an excuse. Because I've known people for 10 years and I'm still friends with them. But I've known people for 2 years, and I have a better connection with them than I do with the people for 10 years. Because it's not about the amount of years that you have been friends with someone or even been in a relationship with someone. It matters about your connection, your how you got, just basically how you guys get along. And you can't base it off of like how many years, because it doesn't matter at that point. It doesn't matter. It's like if you're dating somebody for 10 years and it doesn't work out and you guys didn't get married, but then you're dating somebody for 2 years and you guys are ready to get married, you shouldn't compare the two relationships because they're two different relationships, they're two different friendships, they're two different things in itself. You can't compare them by the years.
They
but by
might
the
both be
person.
fruits, but it's not apples and apples. It's apples
That's
and
what I'm
oranges.
talking about. Hello. But yeah,
Just don't be that friend that expects your friend to cut off your ex just because you cut off your
Yes.
ex.
I hate
Like I said,
that.
unless
Don't make
your ex
assumptions.
is like some kind of like an actual villain, an actual monster, like he or she is abusive, or they're like habitual liars, or like they're thieves and they're like stealing.
murderous.
Yeah, like something really bad. Like they are like
Psychotic.
they like molest little kids or something. Like those are things where like you might
Yeah.
want to snip. Like don't be friends.
You
with
don't
them.
want to be associated with them.
Right, but if it's like a situation where like, oh, they just don't agree on the same thing, or you know, they had a falling out, they had an argument, they disagreed on how to raise their kids, they disagreed on how to pay the bills, they disagreed on, you know, whatever. They cheated on me, like that don't if you're the friend, that ain't got nothing to do with you. Okay, you can be friends with whoever you want to be friends with.
So, top 3 to 5 pieces of advice that we can give people about all the scenarios that we gave tonight. First scenario being,
Don't be that friend that
Yes.
expects your friends not to be friends with your ex.
yes,
Don't be that
especially
guy.
if they've been growing a friendship for a while. Don't expect them not to be friends because at that point it's selfish of you. Second scenario of within a friend group, dating within a friend group. What's the second piece of advice for dating within a friend group?
I would avoid it if you can. Like, I
Avoid
don't.
dating within a friend
Yeah,
group.
I don't.
Yes.
I don't
Makes
think
you
it's a good
uncomfortable
idea.
and it's
Yeah.
awkward.
I think
I
that
don't
you
do
have,
stuck.
you have to take your other friends into consideration, and I think that it can be selfish on both sides. Like, if you
Can
want
be.
to date somebody in your friend group, for your friends to not want you to, it's kind of selfish. But
Yeah.
also for you to want to,
Because-
it's kind of selfish.
Think about it this way: if me and Nell started dating and then we broke up, no more millennial talk.
I would be
Which
like,
means you can't record anymore.
Right?
Or I mean,
You lost
you
your
could.
show.
but everybody
it's just
knows I'm
like-
not gonna do this if y'all ain't doing it. So
And it's just
okay.
like Nell could be like, we can continue to do millennial
Right.
talk, and then it'll be real awkward because it'll just be Nell and Courtney and then me and Courtney.
It might as well be
You
the
know?
Nella Courtney show at that point.
Yeah, so it's just like really be cautious of your friendships.
Yeah.
That's another piece of
I would
advice.
just avoid it if you can. Like,
Yeah,
just-
True,
just
but then
don't
I
do
like,
it.
I don't know.
I agree. And talk to your friends. And that's what I do with my friends. I talk to them. I said, if you guys date and you guys break up, do not let it affect me. No, oh, definitely not. And it did anyway. So it's like, I guess, even though I talked to them, it still didn't work because people are selfish in their own right anyway. But really just communicate. That's another piece of advice. So that's 4 pieces of advice that we
Don't
gave
feel
so
like you
far.
have to pick sides.
Don't feel like you have
Oh,
to pick
at all.
sides
Please
at all.
don't even try. Just give
Because
up.
you don't. I think that was like a lot of what we said. A lot of the
Yeah.
good pieces of advice. Don't pick sides. Don't be that friend that doesn't expect them to date them. All those great things. Because just be a decent human being. Period.
Advice number 1.
Yes. Okay. And I hope that you guys really liked this video. I thought this was like a very interesting video. We were able to share our stories, really just understand one another, and just kind of get some stuff out. It's kind of this stuff is kind of
Therapeutic,
therapeutic.
yeah.
Yes, because we're able to get things out and really just to hear from each other and hear advice. Because I'm still taking advice in myself. Because like I told you guys in the beginning of this video, like one of my friends still doesn't know. So.
So if you have advice for KJ, please let it down below in the comments. How
please
should
put
he
it down
handle this?
below. Yes, and if you have any additional advice, I would love it.
I mean, I don't think that you should have to tell them. Like, you're not obligated to be like, hey, by the way, I'm still friends with them.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they should be mad at you. It's not like you, I mean, I don't know. I don't know all the ins and outs of the relationship and what you've done. But I feel like if you've gone out of your way to keep it a secret, then like, yeah, you wrong for that. They can be mad at you for that. But if it's like, I didn't keep it a secret, I just didn't go out of my way to tell you, like, you don't have, it's not your job to let them know who your friends are. Like,
I just don't keep it a secret. I just like, I kind of think they have like some type of like inclination of knowing that they know that I'm sort of still friends with them because whenever they trash talk this person, I just don't participate. I'll like go to the bathroom or something like every single time because I just don't feel comfortable being around it
That's
because I'm still friends with them.
I just think like don't lie about it. Don't
Yeah.
try to hide it. And if it comes out, it comes out. Like I said, you weren't trying to hide nothing. Like it's been here the whole time. You just didn't peep it. Now you know.
Definitely. All right, guys. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you can get a notification every single time that we post a new video. Have a great day.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.